ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Hello, welcome to 3 ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.
Do you know what is yisang, Grace?
You mean the Chinese tradition of tossing food as high as possible? Actually, I love it,
Yeah, it's actually, guess what? A Malaysian Chinese origin, not from China. One version of the story that I know was during the olden days, Hokkien Chinese miners would do a potluck together during the Chinese New Year because they miss their family back at home in China. So some would bring meat, some would bring vegetables and all that, and they would mix everything together. And it becomes the yisang that we know today.
That's quite interesting. So on ASEAN Daily, we'll bring you daily updates and commentaries on issues and events that are impacting this region. I'm your host, Grace Cho.
And Arlene Tan. On this very busy Tuesday, 16 February 2016, we will bring you the latest socio-cultural and trends from Southeast Asia.
Our top story today, Airbus and Boeing are counting on China as Southeast Asia's aviation business slows down.
Asia's biggest air show kicks off in Singapore this week amid a slump in the global financial markets. But the heydays of multi-billion orders from India and Southeast Asia is giving way to concerns about airlines in the regions delaying delivery of planes.
But China, on the other hand, has increased its demand for more airplanes. China Southern Airlines Co., Air China Ltd., and other carriers in the nation will require about 6,330 new planes.
Oh, wow.
That's worth about $950 billion in the next 2 decades.
It's a lot of money.
Exactly. And that's about 17% of global total.
And during last year alone, Chinese airlines and leasing companies announced orders from 780 planes valued at about 102 billion US dollar. Crazy, isn't it?
Oh my god, yes, for sure. Well, China's aviation outlook is not just bright, but arguably the strongest it has been in history, said Will Hongton, who is the Hong Kong-based analyst at CAPS Center for Aviation.
While Tony Tyler, head of the International Air Transport Association, said that the overall Chinese economy has slowed down, definitely, but air travel in China has remained quite robust. Interesting that.
Right. The China focuses on the consumer spending slowed economic growth. The government is trying to encourage more air travel. So part of China's 5-year plan is to allocate 77 billion yuan or $12 billion for investment in civil aviation. So that good news is for the aerospace and the airline industries, contrasts with overcapacity and losses among airlines in Southeast Asia and India.
So the bad news for Southeast Asia and India is a lot of the carriers are facing losses, some has closed down business, and a few has already delayed delivery of new planes.
Right.
So everything is going to China now when it comes to the aviation industry.
Looks like it. But, well, enough about the airplanes in China. Let's focus on what's happening out there in the universe.
That's far.
So you will get excited over this news. According to NASA, millions of people in parts of Southeast Asia will witness a total solar eclipse that will last over a minute on March 9 this year.
But what is total solar eclipse?
So basically, it's a phenomenon when a moon passes precisely between the sun and Earth. So it's a relatively rare occurrence that happens only about once a year because of the fact that moon and sun do not orbit in the exact same plane.
But what would happen?
So it will block the sun's bright face, showing the tenuous and the comparatively faint solar atmosphere. It's called the corona part.
Corona sounds like a drink to me, but what's that exactly?
So the another answer for that is you notice something off about the sunlight as you reach totality. Your surroundings take on the twilight cast. Even though it's daytime, the sky is still blue.
Oh wow, is that even possible?
Looks like it is. Because of very precise planetary geometry, the sun is 400 times wider than the moon. But this is also a little more than 400 times farther from the Earth than the Moon during the total solar eclipses. So to our eyes, they appear the same size in the sky, and it is all about the distance and the perspective.
I'm amazed by the universe now.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's move to the next news that is closer to home. If you're an app user in Cambodia, you might want to download this app. It's an app to help you complain directly to the Cambodian government.
Wow. We should have this one in Malaysia, you know. Well, it's known as Transmit. The app works by allowing selected government and grassroots leaders to enter in complaints made by Cambodian citizens during routine community council meetings.
And currently, Cambodia is still in the Stone Age because the Cambodian citizens register complaints with pen and paper or in a spreadsheet on an official's computer, which is absolutely slow.
Yeah, for sure. Zach Center, country manager of PAC, the non-profit organization behind Transmit, says the overall goal of creating this app is to improve responsiveness and the downwards accountability of this local government to the Cambodian citizens.
And I personally believe that it is great that Cambodia is working on increasing accessibility and transparency in the government. But the app effectiveness hinges on whether the country's leaders are receptive to the technology.
I'm sure Prime Minister Hun Sein is listening.
Yeah, I guess. That's all from our ASEAN Daily today. Thanks for tuning in to Duran ASEAN with me, Arlene Tan
and Grace Cho. For more updates on Southeast Asia, please tune in to our website at drianasian.com. If you're on the go, you can always download our TuneIn app on your mobile.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channels at Duran ASEAN and Duran ASEAN TV. Don't forget to follow us on our YouTube page, Twitter and Instagram. We always welcome feedback from our listeners.
So stay tuned with ASEAN Daily by tomorrow Wednesday, same time at 12 to 1 p.m. on GMT+8. Drian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.